I see Motor Trend has given their Car of the Year award to the Genesis G90. Of course, this is the same publication that gave the Car of the Year award to the Chevy Vega, so you never know, but still, Genesis makes some pretty good stuff, so I think I should get one of these so we can do a video and show you what I think. So I'm going to get on my sophisticated flip phone. Yeah, that's what I use. Call the people at Genesis and tell them to send one over. I want a white one, just like on the cover, too. Yep, I want it to look just like that. Well, it's been a few days, and looks like I'm going to get the Genesis G90 3.5 Turbo Supercharger all-wheel drive. Be here tomorrow. Let's take a look at the paperwork. I don't see any options. That's good. At least they're not going to dollar us to death like the Germans do. Oh, spoke too soon. They're going to charge us extra for that white metallic paint I wanted. $575. Whoa, 100 grand for a Korean car. Whoever would have thought? Well, they are coming up in the world. Well, at least it's made in Korea at a Korean factory with Korean workers, which means the quality is going to be higher than the ones they build elsewhere, allegedly. Government 5-star safety rating is blank, but it's a huge beast weighing 5,000 pounds. How unsafe can it be, right? By the way, we also did a video on the 2023 Genesis GV60 Performance electric car. That was a nice one. We'll have a link for that video at the end of this video. Gives you 2 Genesis videos to watch, and next. And we also did a Genesis G80. We have 3 Genesis videos for you. Just click and watch. So we're at our storage and test facility. Let's roll this car out and see what it looks like in person. Pretty sharp looking. It looks an awful lot like the other G70 and G80 models, but you get a lot closer, you'll find a lot more exclusive features. And we do all our videos. We're going to take the headlights out in the dark and see how they perform, as well as doing some night driving. And I'm counting 12 bulbs in each row, times 2 times the other side. That's 48 bulbs. Wow. We'll be testing those out later. And the second thing we do is check and see if there's a spare tire under here, and let's find out. No, there's not. There is a large battery, though. I think that's part of the 48-volt hybrid assist system. Someone told me it also works to power the electronic supercharger, which, well, we'll talk about that a little bit later. This has an air suspension, and the way it works is a camera in the front reads the road ahead, whether it's rough, smooth, or whatever, and then adjusts the suspension to drive accordingly. The wonders of technology. 21-inch wheels and tires, and rear wheel steering. I'm told it's like 10 degrees of angle there to help you squeeze into tight parking spaces. We'll have to try that out. The standard 390 has a V6 3.5 liters, but not 375 horsepower, turbocharged. But this one here, the special edition, has a twin turbo and an electric supercharger. I'm not sure how that works, as well as a 48-volt hybrid assist. End result is 409 horsepower, but a nice 405 pounds-feet of torque at a super low 1300 RPM. And here's the claimed fuel economy: 17 in the city, 24 on the highway, 20 overall. We'll take this out in the real world and see if these numbers are accurate, which is why you need to watch my videos instead of the other phony YouTubers who just list the numbers they get off the price sticker. We do real world testing here. Before I forget, this is an all-wheel drive system. Traction on all 4 wheels. Great when you're driving in rain or snow. Now let's crawl in the cabin, and to do that you have to reach the door handles that pop out and then pop back in. You really need this, no, but you're spending a lot of money on a car. It's a nice gimmick. Impresses your buddies. On a true luxury car, the last thing you want to do is be inconvenienced by having to reach your arm out and pull a door shut. Why, you might sprain your elbow doing that. So, Genesis have provided a nice technological solution to that. Press this magic button, And the door closes for you. Of course. This is also available on the Rolls-Royce. I think that's the only two vehicles that have this. And electronic to open. And what else? A drive mode. Can you Eco, Comfort, or Sport? And here's your command center. And by the way, these are massaging seats, front and rear. Great for those long trips. And here's the control knob to operate that. Next to the shifter, a simple rotary dial. Far more convenient than the old-fashioned stick that just gets in the way. A very simple climate control system. And this nice Snappa leather trim, along with real wood, very swank. And the rear seat passengers are going to be very happy back here. Now you have the massaging seats. But a whole bunch of fancy controls here to entertain yourself. And there's a footrest that comes out here somewhere. And this stereo system, I don't know how many speakers there are, but it is just awesome. Top of the line. And the passenger doors are electric as well. And my favorite, these headrests are fully adjustable to about any position you want. And for the money we're paying, we would expect a nice camera system, and we do get one, very high resolution. Let's see what else it does here. Oh, locked in reverse. There we go. And we have radio controls here, the volume on the left, tuning on the right. And something they copied from Mercedes. This is how you change the stations, rubbing your finger on here. It has some other tricks this button does too. If you don't know what this button does and you don't practice with it, you're missing out on a lot of features. The only beef I have, the auto dimming mirror doesn't seem to have a cutoff switch. We'll talk about that at our night drive coming up later. But otherwise, this cabin is first class. I would say 99% out of 100 easy. Oh yeah, and the gauge cluster. As we do in all our videos, we're going to take some mild speed humps, around 15 to 20 miles per hour. See how the suspension performance and impact. This exotic air suspension. Wonder if the camera can read the speed bumps. Let's find out. Bump number 1. Ooh, that was cushy. Bump number 2. Let's do 20 miles per hour. Soft. Here's the big one. Yeah, I felt that a little bit, but 21-inch tires, you would expect to. This is a very, very plush ride. The power steering's a bit on the vague side, but you can spice it up by putting it in the sport mode. This vehicle weighs about 5,000 pounds with a twin-turbo V6 and a supercharger and a 48-volt hybrid system assist. You might expect it to get a good time on our 0 to 60. With all-wheel drive, I won't be expecting any wheel spin. Oh, now it's kicking in. Yeah, this thing's got guts and nice brakes too. This car is designed more for comfort than crack handling, but let's put it in the sport mode and take the turning circle. Definitely a bit of body lean. But with all-wheel drive and these big tires, we're not going to spin out anytime soon. I can't even get the tires to squeal. Very impressive. By the way, this vehicle has a perfume dispenser. It's standard equipment. keeps spraying this scent in the cabin. I can't find a way to turn it off, but it smells pretty good, so I guess I'll just leave it alone. I'm going to reset the mileage computer to 0, take a long interstate highway trip. At least 100 miles, so let's do it. If you do a lot of highway trips, this definitely might be the vehicle for you. It's smooth, quiet, comfortable. These seats are fantastic. Very nice sound system that I can't show you because copyright laws will get me in trouble with YouTube. A very, very nice ride. One thing I've noticed, you really have to keep your eye on the speedometer if you're not using cruise control, because the car is so quiet. You find yourself going way over the speed limit, not realizing it. The G90 does have a heads-up display that will reflect the speed you're traveling up into the windshield. That's very easy to see, but I disconnected that feature. I kind of find it annoying. I don't like HUDs. But that's me. If you like it, you go on the computer, turn it on, it will pop right up in the windshield for you. So I just turned on the cruise control, and all of a sudden the massaging seats are being activated. I don't almost hit the wrong button. Don't know how that happened, but I guess I might as well enjoy the massage. Give me something to do on this long trip. It says the lumbar feature is activated. Okay. Feels pretty good. These are nice seats. Alright, that's the end of the trip. Let's pull over and see what the fuel economy numbers say. The official EPA on the window sticker said 24 miles to the gallon for freeway driving. Nice if we can get it. 24.6 mpg. That's pretty darn good for a giant heavy boat like this. Especially since I was doing a lot more passing than I should have been. And had my foot in it a bit more than I really should. That's a pretty good number. Absolutely nothing to complain about. Let's take another highway trip. See what numbers we can get on this mileage computer. This Genesis G90 is such a comfortable vehicle to drive. I'm really looking for an excuse to take a longer trip. Why settle for 100 miles? How about 400 or 500? That'd be very nice, but unfortunately, I just don't have the time this week. Too bad. I do have one complaint with this vehicle. When you put it in the normal mode, you're playing around 1800 RPM on the highway, give or take. But now if you put it in the sport mode to liven up the steering and beef up the suspension just a little bit for better stability, now we jump up to 2200 RPM, which doesn't really do much for fuel economy. So I'm going to drop it back into the normal mode and put up with some very soft steering and a very soft suspension. So far, driving in the normal mode, I'm getting 27.1 mpg. I'm going to put it in the sport mode. Beef up the steering, suspension. We'll see if the economy drops. Maybe it will, maybe it won't. But I like the sport mode. So sport mode it is. We're reaching the end of our trip, and by the way, 50% driving in the normal mode, 50% in the sport mode. Plus, I really wasn't driving for fuel economy. I was in a hurry, passing everybody, and really wasn't concerned about the economy numbers this time. I'm in a hurry, what can I tell you? Time is valuable. So, it'll be very, very interesting if I got better fuel economy on this trip than I did last night. 28.4 mpg. Not bad for a 5,000-pound beast. And in 557 miles of fleet use, averaging 20.7 mpg. So what's my take on this Genesis G90 after a week of driving? Well, I can see why Motor Trend gave it Car of the Year. Very fantastic vehicle, and better than anything coming out of Japan right now. Oop, not supposed to say that. And while it's not going to knock the Mercedes S-Class off its perch as being one of the best large luxury cars around. It's definitely competition for the Europeans for sure. They're definitely going to be paying attention to this car in the very near future. So if you didn't see our headlight test video we did on YouTube, we're going to show it now, part 3 of the video. Here we go. It's dark enough. Let's check out these lights. Look at all those bulbs. Wonder how much it costs to replace this. Don't break it. You know it's not going to be cheap. And here's what the taillights look like. A good wide spread. Can't miss this. Wonder if they copied this from the Dodge Charger. It doesn't matter. It's a good idea. Emergency lights. Very, very bright. You won't miss those. Even have emergency lights on the side body panel. Nifty. Getting something for our money. Well, this is why we have so many bulbs. A lot easier to see if you turn the headlights off, of course. So with the 12 bulbs in each row, 6 of them activate emergency lights. 6 times 2 is 12, times 2 is 24 out of the 48. Here's what the camera system looks like when you put it in reverse. Something else you're getting for all your money. Control panel lights up pretty good. Put it in reverse, the control turns red. Put it in drive, it turns blue. Gauge cluster lights up pretty good. This cabin has a very powerful interior light system. You can see anything and everything. And if you're sitting in the second row seats like I am, you have all these controls on the panel. For the sound system, the massaging seats. All of them are massaging seats. Yeah, it's real comfy back here, and these seats do recline. First class all the way. A lot of powerful lights on the front too. Some blue lighting on the side doors, and all of the door controls light up as well. And you don't close the door yourself, you let the door close itself. So let's test the headlights. That's what we're here for. Low beams on a wall 33 yards away, 100 feet. Low beam is very bright. Height is adequate, just above the bushes. High beam, definitely strong in the middle. Decent spread, good height. So let's take a look down this dark street. Headlights off. Low beams on. Not reaching out as far as I would like, but high beams lighten up the whole neighborhood. Yeah, those 48 bulbs are working pretty good. And you have cameras on the outside mirror showing you what's on your left when you use the turn signal on the left, or what's on the right if you use the turn signal on the right. And if you watch my videos, you know I cannot stand auto dimming mirrors, at least if they do not have a disconnect switch, because I don't want to drive in heavy city traffic with blacked out mirrors. But apparently there's no disconnect switch here. You can do it on the info screen. I haven't been able to find out how to do that yet, but I guess I'll have to use a piece of tape over the sensor hole if I need to turn it off. So we'll deduct 1 point. So on the dark side streets, low beam, high beam. Definitely potent. So let's get on the freeway. As you can see, the headlights do a pretty good job of lighting up the signs on the freeway at long distance. Brights on, brights off. Probably making some drivers mad right now. Well, this high beam setting definitely lights up the road for long distances. There's no doubt about that. Yes, sirree. If you do a lot of highway driving at night, you'll definitely like these. Especially down dark, dingy roads where there aren't many side lights or street lights. And on a dark residential street, definitely enough lighting power. Lighten up all the cars and the dead cats and the birds and the bats and the pedestrians. Overall, the engineers at Genesis did a very good job on this light package overall. Definitely a nice setup and a very nice car. Very impressive.